It doesn't look like I'm in the Netherlands, but I am. Now, here you don't see cobblestone streets or anything like that. Nothing here is hundreds of years old. In fact, all of these buildings are younger than I am. I am in Almere, which is a short distance away from Amsterdam. If you're thinking about going to Amsterdam as a tourist, I would very much recommend this area to stay. I am at the Best Western Plus, which is a nice hotel, very well rated at a reasonable rate. This is not an ad, I'm just giving you helpful information, and it's a very short walk, less than 100 meters from the train station, and then about €6 and you are in Amsterdam. But why is this here? Everywhere else you go in the Netherlands, you see things that are very old. Okay, there's a kid over there that's having a hard time. I am in what's called Flevoland, which is the 12th province of the Netherlands, and a province that actually did not exist prior to World War II. The land that I'm walking on used to be water. And of course, Holland is one of the most densely populated areas in the world. And the Dutch are always looking for more land. It is a small country. So they decided to reclaim land in what was at one time a shallow bay, and they call this province Flevoland. And what's funny is, even though this is very convenient for being a tourist in Amsterdam, it's economical, you can stay somewhere nice, and you can be in Amsterdam within half an hour, that the Dutch people really don't like this place, except for, I guess, the people who live here. When a Dutch person asked where I was staying, and I said, I'm staying in Almere, the Dutch person looked at me and said, Almere. Of course, the Dutch are very direct people, and if they don't like a place, they will straight up tell you. Almere. It was almost as if I had said that I'm staying in the pit of hell. Now, for an American, this is pretty nice, pretty modern, pretty new, and even in some aspects, you've still got the same kinds of cafes and everything that you would find, but it just doesn't look or feel Dutch. It's a place that's very decidedly un-Dutch, kind of a poor man's version of the Netherlands or something like that. Because let's face it, if I were rich, I'd be staying in Amsterdam at a much more expensive hotel. But it is very fascinating to be walking on land that the Dutch have just engineered and created out of nothing. When Louis XIV invaded France in the... What? When Louis XIV invaded the Netherlands in the 17th century, the Dutch flooded a lot of farmland in order to keep his army out. And in this case, the Dutch have actually created land that wasn't there. Leave it to Dutch ingenuity just to do whatever it is that has to be done. And there's a motorcycle. So there you have it. I'm standing on land that used to not be land just a short time ago. It is a great example of Dutch ingenuity and a great place to stay if you are looking to be a tourist in Amsterdam. Just make sure that you catch the train at the right time and you don't miss the train. You end up having to pay about €90 for an Uber, because who wants to do that? And with that, I'm going to get back to my tourism. And for other travel tips and educational videos on the history of the Netherlands and plenty of other places, go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. It's always a pleasure.